This video will demonstrate how to create a venue, an LTE Extended Packet Core or EPC network, and how to configure your Spectrum Access System or SAS account using the Ruckus LTE AP Management Portal. So to start off, we're going to log into our Ruckus LTE AP Management Portal. And this brings us to the dashboard. Now, this is a virgin system. We haven't configured any venues, APs, or networks. So let's just take a look at what we have. In the upper left here, we have alarms, we have venues. You can see that there's no venues, APs, and we have LTE clients. And then over on the right, we have a shortcut menu of adding venues, adding APs, adding a network, which is similar to the menu over on the left. I also want to mention that if you had a previous Ruckus Cloud Wi-Fi account and you are also using the LTE AP Management Portal, if you log onto the LTE AP Management Portal with your Ruckus Cloud Wi-Fi partner username and password, you would see two circles for the AP count summary, one for the LTE and one for the Wi-Fi APs. Similarly, when you have clients attached, you would see one circle for the LTE clients and one circle for the Wi-Fi clients. The LTE AP Management Portal only supports demo-level Wi-Fi support. For commercial cloud Wi-Fi, you'll need to use the Ruckus Cloud Wi-Fi portal. But this is just an LTE AP Management Portal. We have a global map because we haven't positioned any venues, so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and create my first venue. So I'll click on Venues, and I'll add venue. And I'm going to give my venue a name, and I'm going to call it Awani Art Studio. Description, we'll just call it Art Studio. Now I'm going to put in my address and make sure to include the city, country, and the address. So for me, I'm going to put in my local address. And you'll note that as soon as I put that address in, the map changes. So the geo-positioning on this aligns the map to the address. Then I'll scroll down. You also notice that it's automatically adjusted to the time for the location, so it's Pacific Standard Time, and I could put any address notes in here, such as the building number, the floor number, or so forth. So for example, if you were in a 5-story building and this was the first floor, you might put first floor. So I'll just put in Art Studio. At the bottom, there's a tick mark next to Go to Floor Plans. I could untick that if I didn't want to add a floor plan, but let's go ahead and add a floor plan. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. So it'll create the venue. The floor plan name is going to be Art Studio. The floor number, and if you look over on the right, you'll see that 0 is the first floor, and then 1 would be the second floor. And then if I had a basement or a floor under the first floor, that would be a -1. So we'll leave that at 0. Floor plan image, I'm going to go ahead and upload a floor plan. And I have one here, so I'm going to include that in there. I'm going to add that. And then I'll create the floor plan. And I'll upload the image. And now it's asking me to accurately geoposition your APs. First, calibrate your floor plan image to the map. Now, it's a little hard to see over here, so if I shrink this map down a little bit, you'll see that there is a building up here, and this is the building that I want to position my markers at. And I'm going to blow that up a little bit more. And it's best to put the markers at the corner of the building to get the best positioning. So we're going to put those at those two positions there at each corner of the building. And then over on my floor plan, I'll stick my one marker at the upper right-hand corner and my other one at the lower left-hand corner. And then I'll go ahead and hit save. That'll update the floor plan. And later we'll come back and add the AP on this. So that's my floor plan. Now if I go back to my dashboard, you'll see that the map has changed. I started out with a map of the world, but now I have a map of the current location that I'm at, and there's a teardrop in here, and that's my Awani Art Studio. You'll notice that there's no APs connected and I have no clients connected. So I've created my first venue. Next, I want to create my first network. So I'll click on Networks, and I'm going to add a network, and it's going to be an LTE network. So my first entry is the name, and I'm going to call this Art Studio. Next is my Public LAN Mobile Network ID, or PLM ID. In my case, it's going to be 00102. and the PLMN is identified by the mobile country code MCC and the mobile network code MNC. Each operator providing mobile services has its own unique PLM ID. If you bought the Ruckus solution that included the service bundle, this information will be provided to you, and if you were using a third party, they would have to provide the information. Next, I need to add the IP address of my Mobility Management Entity, or MME. In my case, it's 10.98.23.38, and I could add another MME, but I'm only going to use one, so I'll remove that. Next is my LTE security gateway, which is turned on, and now I have to provide the security gateway IP address. So mine is 35.203.188.180. I could add an additional security gateway if I had another one, but in my case, I'm just going to keep it for one. Next is the public key infrastructure, or PKI. It's turned off by default, but PKI provides the infrastructure for entities to establish trust relationships between each other based on their mutual trust of the certificate authority. It is recommended to enable PKI for enhanced security. Since this is a demo, I'll leave this off. Next is my tracking area code, and I'll enter in 12594, as this is the one that was provided to me. The tracking area code is assigned to the LTE tracking area, which helps it in identifying the user equipment, or UE location. Next is the physical cell ID, and that's a range between 0 to 503. So I'm going to put in 200 to 300, and that's going to be the range that I use. And the final entry is the evolved packet core VLAN. In this case, I'll take the default and then hit next. Next is the venue selection. So if I had multiple venues in here, I would select which venue I want to enable this network on. By default, I only have one, so it is going to be turned on. So now I'm going to go ahead and create, and that'll create the network. And it adds the network on the venue. So now you can see that I have my Art Studio network. Now for some reason, I wanted to go in and edit that. I could click on it, I could edit the network. Let's say, for example, if I wanted to go back later and wanted to add another MME or another security gateway, or maybe change the range of my physical cell ID, I could do that. So we'll cancel out on that. If I go back to my dashboard, I have my one venue, but I don't have any activity on it. I have my one network that I just created. And the other thing that I want to do before I add an AP is go under my administration tab and go to my SAS account. And now I have to enter my SAS account information. So I'm going to put in the operator, and in this case, it's going to be Google, the URL that was provided to me. And next is my CBSD user ID, and that's going to be Ruckus_IDC. All right, I've got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and save that information, and that'll create my SAS account. So that information is now set up. So at this point, I've created a venue, I've created an LTE network, and I've set up my SAS administration. Before we move on, I just want to reiterate that if you purchase the Ruckus Network services, please work closely with your Ruckus partner to get the components set up for you. If you're not using the Ruckus Network services, but only the LTE AP Management Portal, make sure you work with your third-party partners to ensure the EPC, SMS, and SAS attributes are configured properly. In the next video, I'll show you how to add your AP. So as you can see, creating a venue and an LTE network using the Ruckus LTE AP Management Portal is easy. You just need to make sure that you have the LTE network attributes before configuring the network.